Alright, welcome back to another video. So one of the things that frustrates me the most about this 2019 STi that we're sitting in here is, although we've got all the bells and whistles technology wise, including CarPlay, it's so frustrating that it's wired. I find that when I'm going on a short trip in the car, because of the fact that it's wired, I can't be bothered to plug my phone in, so I kind of do away with
and having all these wires everywhere just for 10 minutes down the road is pointless. And then actually, when you go on a long trip, is it even worth it? It'd be nice just to be able to have sync straight to your phone, straight onto the head unit, and music playing, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I find that I do is, if I'm going for a long trip, I'll plug in the phone so I get the CarPlay, but it's the trips down to the supermarket, the 5-minute drop-offs to school, whatever I'm doing there, where if a phone call comes through, it's really convenient to have it on CarPlay, but it's just too much of a pain for me to do it.
And we live in like this wireless sort of world at the moment, so I'm real surprised that these head units with CarPlay haven't actually had this built in.
I know, there's older cars than this, so there's 2017s and 18s that have wireless CarPlay.
Oh, really?
I think they're becoming quite popular now.
Yeah.
I think BMW have wireless CarPlay standard on everything.
Oh, nice.
And what I found is that I did a bit of research. Can I turn this into a wireless CarPlay? And the answer pretty much everywhere I went was no.
Gotcha.
But what I found is a company by the name of OEM Wholesale Audio here in New Zealand have sent me this. Now this is called the Wireless Commander. Now you can buy these all across the world in various forms. This has been private labelled here by OEM Audio. But essentially what it is it's a small unit that plugs directly into the USB socket where your phone would plug into. It's got USB-C connector on the other end. And what this advertised that it does is it turns your wired CarPlay unit into a wireless unit.
And so it's only going to work if you've got USB connectivity to the head unit, right?
Correct. So you have to have CarPlay already in your car, and you have to have USB connectivity.
So this is not going to work for everybody.
No. What this is not going to do, it's not going to turn your car that doesn't have CarPlay, even if you've got a fancy head unit, into something that has CarPlay.
Gotcha.
All it does is trick the car into thinking that this is essentially, what does it do? It does some kind of tricking. So
just a big trick.
It's a big trick, but what we're going to do, we're going to plug this in, set it up, and see how it works, and if it works.
Okay, let's get it installed.
So as I said earlier, we've got a USB connection on one end, and the other end is USB-C, and that is removable. And I think the key with that there is it means that if you damage this cord in any way, shape, or form, you can simply buy another USB-C to USB cable and replace it. I think that's key, that this isn't actually attached on here. Should get you a bit longer life out of this here. The great thing about the form factor of this is that what you'll be able to do, because it is so small, is you'll be able to mount it either underneath the unit here, potentially in the side, and that means that you won't have to have this flopping around, because there's nothing that frustrates me more than having this sit in the center console here, either taking up space or rattling around. So potentially some 3M strips, Velcro it or stick it to the bottom of here, and we can have a really nice clean install of this. So what we'll do, we'll plug it in and we'll see what comes up on the screen in terms of setup. Okay, so you can use either of the USB ports in the car here. So I've got two under the head unit, so I'm going to plug this in to the top one there. And then what will happen is this unit, the light on the front will turn red when it's ready to pair with your phone. So we'll wait for that to turn on. There we go, we've got the red light. And then if you come up to the infotainment screen here, what's going to happen is it will pop up with a screen. So this is a screen that's unique to this device, and it's going to try and connect to your phone. So it is saying here auto connecting. Obviously my phone here, we're filming on it at the moment, so I've turned Bluetooth off on here. But on the second device we have down here, it is asking us if we want to pair. So we're going to go pair. And it will ask us, do we want to use CarPlay? So it's showing up as Subaru 9069. We're going to go yes, use CarPlay. And once you have an active connection, what will happen is the light will start flashing green on the OEM device. And there we go, we've got wireless CarPlay all sorted on the screen here. So we're able to flick through, we can go into our various screens. And one of the really cool things that I think that this device brings is the fact that you retain your touchscreen. So I've seen a lot of these devices where, it will trick the system into giving you wireless CarPlay, but you'd need to use your dial here in order to go through your various screens. So with this here, everything works as you'd expect, the swipe motions, the touch, which is absolutely fantastic. It means that it's exactly the same experience you get as if you were plugged in with the standard system. Now the only thing you're going to notice different on here is up in this right hand corner. When you're wired, you do not get this little battery status. So when you're using the wireless system, you get a little battery icon here. And I think one of the things that's quite cool about that as well is I do have another USB port in the glove box here, and I'm going to plug this phone into charge, and if you have a look up on the screen here, it updates instantly showing that that device is charging. So if I go and unplug that, that falls off and it shows us the current battery status on our phone. Okay, so what I want to do now is, now we've got that device paired onto the phone, we have the unit plugged into our USB port. What I want to do is show you when you do turn the car on just how quickly the unit connects, because this is where it's going to make the difference when you're sitting in the car. Now the phone is on, but it's obviously just sitting on the lock screen at the moment, so we're going to leave that there. I'm going to turn the vehicle on. I'm not going to start the engine. Take us out of reverse. And then what will happen is it will take a little bit on the screen here, but what will eventually happen is CarPlay is going to wirelessly connect. I feel like this gives you enough time to get your car turned on, potentially reverse out of your garage, start driving before it actually pairs. We'll see how long this takes here. There we go, so we've got our screen popping up, auto connecting to a device, selecting the one that's available right now. And there we go, we're back into the CarPlay interface. So probably no more than 30 seconds and you're good to start driving. Again, continuing to use the system. All of your functions are working in here. And I would play something, but unfortunately due to copyright, we don't want to get struck off there, so I won't hit play on anything. But that just shows you how this device connects, and then when we turn the car off, disconnected, your CarPlay drops away off the screen. Easy as that. Alright, so this here is I think an essential. If you're buying one of these Subarus with wired CarPlay, or any car that has wired CarPlay but no wireless system, I think invest your $100, $150 into one of these units.
I reckon any attempt to stop your phone from having to connect via wires, etc. in the car is definitely money well spent, and that's definitely an important thing to get.
Absolutely. What this means is I can get in the car, I don't have to take my phone out of my bag or my pocket, it just connects. I know it's going to work within about 30 seconds of jumping in. Convenience factor, to spend $100 on that is hugely worthwhile. Totally. Now one of the key things as well is when you do jump on the websites, the various sites that sell these units, you will see that they have a list of compatible car manufacturers and models. This car was not listed on the most of the websites that I looked at these units. So what I did know though is there was a firmware update available. So on this unit here, obviously you've got your USB-C at the top, but on the bottom you have a USB port. So what I found, and I'll link it in the description below, is there was a firmware update available for these, which I loaded onto a USB thumb drive, plugged it in the bottom here, and it took about 15 minutes to update this unit. When I then plugged it in here, it automatically connected, just like what you saw on screen.
So essentially you're just loading the Subaru package onto the device.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it added a whole bunch of other manufacturers and models, a few other little bug fixes and stuff as well. I didn't notice anything else. But if you don't do that, what you'll find is when you plug this in your car, nothing will pop up on screen. I was fumbling through the menus trying to find how do I set this up. So if it doesn't work for you, you'll need to go in the description below, try that firmware update. But there was a warning in there that it could brick your device if you interrupt it midway through, so we take no responsibility for anything you're doing with these units, but know that we can get it to work in this car, and it has been absolutely flawless. I've been using this in here for probably about 3 or 4 weeks now, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So huge thanks to OEM Wholesale Audio here in New Zealand for sending this Wireless Commander our way. We'll pop the link in the description below, but you'll be able to find this no matter where you are in the world. I'm sure you'll be able to get your hands on one of these units. So that's how you get wireless CarPlay on your Subaru WRX. So thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more OEM Plus right here on the Omni Garage.
Thanks for watching.